Tips for defeating Dracula in Castlevania 3, the latest installment in this game series. We'll see what happens when a couple of guys from the planet Funkatron visit Earth and tow Jam Earl. And we'll come out swinging with a secret fantasy game for Arnold Palmer Golf. This and more on GamePro. So let's do it, bud!
Hi, everybody, and welcome to GamePro. I'm JD Roth.
And I'm Brennan. Wonder Twin Powers, activate! And we are back with all the Game Lab gang here, bud, to shoot you with some more excellent stuff to make you big winners and all the hot new game cards, yeah.
That's right, and as always, it comes to us from GamePro Magazine, the source for game-breaking greatness, right, B-Man?
Absolutely, bud. And, as usual, the game-playing maniacs back in the Game Lab have been kicking some major butt and taking no prisoners in their race to give us the latest and greatest on game tips and tactics. Jawohl. So, if you are ready to roll, dude, let's turn JD loose in the world of SWAT!
We'll see you in a second.
Secret weapons and tactics.
When it comes to picking the cards I want to play, I always seem to be going back for the Hunt for Dracula in the Castlevania series. You know the one. You just can't beat the goblins and the gore. So whenever I can get my thumbs on a tip for busting the Dragster, I pay attention, and so should you. Why don't you check out this tactic for starting out with 10 lives in Castlevania 3? It's real simple. All you have to do is bring up the title screen and enter the following password. Help me instead of your name. You know, it just doesn't get much easier than that. As you can see, you're going to start out with 10 lives. Very cool. Oh, I'm having a good game. When you're going for the bucks, you always try to take whatever breaks you can get, right? So how'd you like to start up Mercenary Force for your Game Boy with a little extra advantage? Say, 50,000 bucks worth. Not to mention the ability to choose your own round. Here's how it happens, dudes. Bring up the opening title screen. Then press up, select A and B all at the same time. Now, if your fingers can pull off this stretch, you've just got yourself 50,000 bucks instead of the usual $5,000. Not bad, huh? Now, press right and select whatever level of entry that works for you. Let me run that by you one more time. First, bring up the title screen. Next, press up, select A and B, and do it all at the same time. The 50,000 is in the bank, baby. Finally, to pick the round you want, pad to the right, and it's all yours.
Hi, I'm Marty Whalen from Robert, Louisiana. Can you guys give me any help with Shere Khan and Tailspin for the TurboGrafx 16?
Not a problem, dude. Here's what you do. When you get into Shere Khan's office, position yourself where the first and second bookshelf connect. Now, start blasting coconuts diagonally upwards. Not only will you manage to deflect the falling books, but check it out. You can put some coconuts into Shere Khan at the same time. Solid question, bud. Your GamePro tee is in the mail and on its way. Now remember, if you other gamers have a tough one for our Game Lab gonzos, fire it in. If we put it on TV, the T-shirt is in the mail and yours. We'll give you the address at the end of the show, so hang in there.
Tips for TV sports football when we come back on GamePro!
Oh, but you forgot this.
Secret weapons and tactics.
Oh, thanks a lot, bud. Now, take a look at a password tip beyond excellence for the T16 sports game, TV Sports Football. Why don't you check it out? Whoa. To access the passwords, you need to first select the exhibition option and choose your opponent's team. Next, press select. You are now at the password screen and check out what you can do. To begin the game with a 28-point lead, enter Ultimate Whiz. You'll notice that the letters don't appear on the screen, but that's okay. They're invisible. All right, 28 big ones. Want another great tip? you can type more than one password per game. If an invincible fullback who simply cannot be tackled is in your offensive plans, just enter the Cooker. Yes, the ultimate fantasy football league. He's at the 50. Oh, this guy won't go down. Keep going. It might take the whole team to bring this guy down. 35. He's at the 30. Oh, no. All right, you want a faster team? Just type in super speed.
Goal, 51.
He's going back. He's going back. Run! Check that out. He flies past everybody. Kind of reminds me of me, huh? He's at the 30. He's at the 20. He's at the 10. Touchdown! Well, here I am again in SWAT World, and this time I've got wild tricks that make gameplay easier for that hack-and-slash game, Sword of Sodan, for your Genesis. Here's a couple of great warp tricks. If you're playing anywhere in the first 5 levels of the game, try using 4 purple potions, because you'll immediately warp in the next level of the game. Now, if you're on level 5, which is the foyer of the castle, fall into the 3rd pit in the foyer, and make sure you do this before you fall into any other pits. You'll be warped to level 6 instantly. Now here's a bonus. If you use the purple and blue potion combo right before the lava field on level 6, you can walk right over the lava without getting hurt. All you have to do is use the purple and blue potion. Go get them.
Yeah! All right, man, another pro review. Pro review. Hit it. Now, let's take a look at what the Game Lab goobers have to say about Jam Earl for the Genesis game system and Snow Brothers for the NES.
And as usual, we'll be rating today's games in 4 different categories: the graphics, sound effects, challenge, and the best one, fun factor. We've rated each of these games with faces and numbers. Now, 2 means only average. 3 means good. 4 tells you it's really great, and 5 means top of the line, radical, amazing stuff. That's why the dude's hair is standing straight up.
Wow, I noted that too.
Yeah.
Okay, now, you know this game has to be good because you just can't call a cart Jam Earl and get away with it, right? Unless it's real good. So, here's the story.
Jam Earl, these 2 cold-busting aliens from the planet Funkatron. They crash-landed on Earth, and the only way they can get home is to go over the entire planet until they find the missing 10 pieces of their rocket ship and increase their coolness along the way. The missing pieces are hidden on the 20 different levels which make up the planet Earth in this game. And every time you play, the location of the pieces change. At the start of the game, the 2 aliens are so uncool, they begin as complete wieners. That's what the game calls them, dude. Wieners. But as they pick up points in the game by collecting special items and exploring the planet, they become cooler and cooler, moving along from wieners to Poindexters to dudes to, dare I say it, Funk Lords. Of course, nobody becomes a Funk Lord unless they make it to the 9th level of coolness. Jam Earl booging from place to place with the funkiest of musical beats in the background, encountering the strangest aliens they've ever seen. Babies in shopping carts, opera singers, hula dancers, cupids, devils, and my personal favorite, giant hamsters and rolling balls. While some Earthlings are willing to help our hapless heroes hit the trail home, they're gonna want a buck or 2 for their trouble. Isn't that always the way it is? Hey, check it out! With the help of some wings, Earl can fly! And how about a slingshot that shoots root beer? Yeah!
So, how do we rate this game? Well, the graphics can be summed up in 2 words. Totally cool. The music has incredible tunes with the funkiest background beat of any video game ever made. Now, if it's fast-moving shoot-'em-up gaming you're looking for, this game might not be up to challenging you since it's more of an exploration than a skill contest. Now, as to the fun factor, our pros say that the game is a little like Christmas. Lots of bright colored surprises and plenty of initial excitement. But, you know, once you open all the presents up, some of the excitement kind of fades, you know?
Good review, my man, B-Man.
Thank you, thank you.
By the way, I have reached the ultimate coolness level. I am now a funk lord.
More like a chunk lord. Ah, psych!
That was a real face. Oh, well. I tried to get it by. Maybe next time. Next up is Snow Brothers for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Nasty Old King Achichi. Where did I get these names, you know? Anyhow, Old King Acho has invaded the once peaceful snowland and put it into a deep freeze. He's also run off with a beautiful twin princess. Very nice. Or maybe that's Prince I. Whatever. He's run off with the twins Pri and Peachy. Now, this heinous crime sets the heroic princes Nick and Tom into action as they fight to rescue their beloved babes from the evil clutches of King Achi, or whatever his name is. But it isn't going to happen until Nick and Tom take out all the baddie types King A throws at them in their quest to save their princesses. All right, here's how we scored it. The graphics are, well, kind of cutesy, extremely close to the arcade game. While it has a magical feel of Super Mario games, we don't feel that anyone's breaking new ground on this one. As to the music, it definitely fits the action nicely. The difficulty is more likely to be a factor with young and new players than with veterans finding the challenge a whole lot easier to take on. To sum it up, well, this baby's pretty good. While it may not be that much fun for you gamer veterans, it does work well for the novices and young players looking to increase their game-playing pleasure.
Hi, this is Naheem Juarez from Citrus Heights, California, and I just beat Strider for the Sega Genesis, and it's a very good game. You should go out and buy it.
My name is Reslan52 from Franklin Square, New York, and in Splatterhouse, for TurboGrafx 16, I got 517,900.
Hello, my name is Jeff Adkins from Attica, New York, and I have mastered Ultima Exodus for the Nintendo system.
Way to go, dudes. Your GamePro subscription is on the way. Now remember, if you want to win, you gotta send them in.
Chill out, because we'll be right back with Arnold Plummer Golf on GamePro.
Hey, it's time for SWAT World, yeah!
That's right, and I am on my way to SWAT World. See you later.
Hey, don't forget your club, bud.
Secret weapons and tactics.
Serious drive. Today, we've got some new moves for Arnold Palmer Golf for the Genesis game system. Now, you may think it's just 18 holes and out on this challenging golf cart, but we've got news for you. In this game, there's more than what meets the putting green. Watch. You see, what you probably don't know is that inside Arnold Palmer Golf lurks a hidden Sega classic. And here's how you get there. All you have to do is be a real bad golfer. First, pick any hole in the golf course and take 100 strokes without putting the ball into the cup. Easy for me. Now, while this may not be very good for your ego if you happen to be a golfer, you're on your way to the game within the game. Watch as the words Game Over appear on the screen. Now press up, up, then down, down, then left, right, then left, and right again. Finally, press button A, and you're into the fantasy zone where button B now fires shots while button C drops the bombs. Cool, huh? Whoa! Whew. I could drive this track all day. Now, I've got a really hot tip for hard driving on the Genesis game system. This tip ought to really improve your game, so listen close. You see, while hard driving gives you a practice track, the track doesn't have any traffic on it but you. Now, when you get to the real thing, let me tell you something. It is a whole lot different than being out there all alone. See you later. Well, we found a trick that'll put you on the practice track with all the traffic of a real game. Check this out. First, play a regular game to its completion. Now this will place you back at the title screen. Once you're in the title screen, press C to go into the options screen. Now set the game on practice. Next, hit B and then hit C. Now press start to exit the menu and you'll begin the game. You'll find yourself on a practice track with all the traffic of a normal game. Let's do a quick rerun. Listen close. First, play a game to its conclusion. This will return you to the title screen. Next, press C to go into the options screen and set the game on practice. Now hit B and then C. Finally, press start to exit the menu and begin driving the practice course. Hey, we guarantee you it'll remind you of the Los Angeles freeway at rush hour. Good luck.
Rock and roll! Okay, it's time to take a look at what's on the cutting edge of video game technology. And when we took a look into our crystal ball, we came up with the future. And the future is, dun, 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 the Game Genie by Galoob Toys. Now, we don't know how they do it, but we do know what it does. And I must tell you, it is truly awe-inspiring. Thumb her up. Check it out. You begin by plugging in one of the hundreds of game carts which run on this gizmo into the Game Genie. Next, you plug the Genie into your NES. Now, when you turn on the NES, a Game Genie screen appears displaying 16 letters and 3 spots where you can type in 8 passwords up to 8 letters long. Now, using the codes which you get in the manual that comes with the device, you can add 3 features to a game like invulnerability, extra jumping power, bonus weaponry, extra lives, and level selects. Yeah. Now, every game that works on the Game Genie has its own set of options, and you can use up to 3 options during each game.
This new product will provide you with some interesting variations to your normal gameplay, which were previously impossible.
However, I must say that it does have its shortcomings. And while the Game Genie is great for making NES games easier to beat, it can sometimes produce these really strange effects. For example, we tested out a boy and his blob on the Game Genie by entering the codes to make us invincible, right? Now, everything was totally cool until we went into the lake to grab some gems and we had our cola bubble popped on a stalactite. Now, normally, we would have lost a life and we would have started again on land, but since we were invincible, we couldn't die, and we were trapped underwater forever. Major bummer, thumb her down. But I must say, though, that the Game Genie is a major step into the future, and a step that you're not going to want to miss taking, okay, bud? The Genie should be at your favorite local game hardware store, so check it out. It's going to make your wishes come true. You're stoked. But you must remember, part of the fun of playing games is to meet the challenge and beat the odds, so let me give you some advice. Save this device until you really want to throw a new twist into your old game-playing strategies, okay?
Super fresh SNES cart to preview for you. It's called ActRaiser, and it's guaranteed to make you thank heavens above for the game that's so fine. It all begins peacefully enough. Now, you're an angel, blessed with the power to populate a whole world. Your world has 6 lands, each representing a level of the game. Pretty cool, huh? Well, it's your job to protect your followers and help them prosper. After your initial state of grace, the party ends quickly, man, because things start to change when you arrive on Earth. You see, once you land on ground, you're no longer an angel. Now, you're a tough and mighty warrior with a sword and magical powers. You know, now that I think about it, this game reminds me of a babe I used to date. Man, she started out as an angel, but as soon as she came down to Earth, she was a hack and slash warrior with a sword.
JP, Rob, you stop that talk right now.
Just kidding, Mom. So, anyhow, you've come down to Earth, and now you leap into action in this hardcore, horizontally scrolling game where you hack and slash your way to the end of each stage. Now, once you reach the end of the first stage, you have to defeat a mega mean boss creature or die trying. Yikes. Get used to this, because you'll encounter an evil boss at the end of each stage of the game. Each one worse than the one before him. A trick every boss can be defeated by is using a pattern. Now, it's up to you to figure out the best way to knock off each bad dude. Level 2 finds you once again ascending to your lofty position of angel, where you'll hover above your small village and lead your peasants through the job of building and prospering. Very nice. You see, each level involves a building phase, followed by a population boom, and ends in out-and-out battles. Sounds familiar? Well, in order to help your loyal subjects succeed during the building stages, you must guide them to destroy the evil portals through which dangerous monsters can escape and cause serious damage. Tough job for anybody. In return for watching over these people, they will grant you all the more power, and you're going to need it, because with each new level comes more and more screaming weirdos to be defeated. So good luck.
Freeze! We will return.
Hi, I'm Willie Lidkey from West Bend, Wisconsin, and here's my tip. On the 4th level of Michael Jackson's Moonwalker for the Sega Genesis, use the boulders to roll over your enemies. Just kick the boulders and let them do all the work. You can keep repeating the process for further success.
Nice tip, dude. The T's in the box.
Hey, that's all we got today, but you know, we will return. And remember, you need to keep those questions, tips, tactics, and everything else coming right to us.
That's right, bud. And we've got these Game Lab goofballs over here waiting to meet your challenge, okay? So make them work. Work them hard, because we love to see them sweat. Yes, indeed. Here's another look at the address, okay? GamePro. P.O. Box 1678, Venice, California, 90291.
Okay, for Brennan and I am J.D. Roth, we're going to put it on pause till next week when we see you right here on GamePro. Peace, dudes.